Hello everyone. Today's poem is 正风出其东门, a Zheng Wind from the Book of Songs. This poem is a very typical Zheng Wind poem, labeled as 正声吟. The Zheng Wind is erotic, or the Zheng Wind is too much, is with a lot of excessive. So the writings or the content is excessive. So the label is by Confucius, but the two explanations is by the later generations. Nobody is quite sure what exactly Confucius is talking about, but the major voice believes that 正风吟 means it's erotic. It's not very good. Anyhow, in this video, I built a new interpretation to this poem and totally different from the previous interpretations. No matter it's a sort of the blaming poem. They are so erotic. They are not very good in their moral standard. Or someone think it's a very lovely love poem. And the person described in this poem, he's very dedicated to a girl. So he's a good man. He's not erotic. He's not excessive. So that's the normal argument about this poem. But I have a totally different argument toward this poem. And let's see. And before we get to the simple poem, there's a little bit background to this poem. First thing first, this poem is about some social event in the springtime, and I do believe very likely it was the prototype, or it is the Qingming festival that time. So till today, the Qingming festival for Chinese has still two topics or two focal points. First thing first, to sweep the ancestors' tomb, to pay your respect, to pay your greeting to the tomb, to your ancestors. And the second thing is the enjoyment, a tour in the green wild in the early springtime. So the whole event is half of formal ceremony, which is sweeping the tomb to worship the ancestors, and half of enjoyment, especially in the very ancient time, is a time of wild love. So that could be the root reason why this poem has so many arguments. Most of people think it's an erotic love poem, and it's a little bit too much. But someone think this poem is telling something different. A boy dedicated to a specific girl, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, the first paragraph. 出其东门，有女如云. When I get out of the east city gate, the girls are like clouds. 虽则如云，非我思存. Even if the girls are like clouds, but they are not what I'm thinking of, and they are not the one I'm saying greeting, I'm paying greeting to. 缟衣其金，聊乐我缘. So I'm with the clothes of all white, and I'm with a black belt. I just had to entertain myself in this garden, in my own place. So it is a very simple poem. And we can see the feelings or atmospheres by the contrast. The girls, so this guy, a male person, very likely, or in 99%, he went into the wild out of the town, and there are so many girls like the clouds, which means they are in groups. The girls are in groups, and they are so swiftly and so lovely, and it's a very happy atmosphere. Anyhow, the poet, he just stayed alone with white clothes with black beard. So the white suit and black beard is the key indicator that this is something with the past ancestors or funerals. So when in a funeral, or when the Chinese to attend to the family's temple, to the ancestors' temple, to sweep the tomb of their ancestors, they wear the funeral suit. So that the dress code is white with black beard. In the code of conduct, 斩崔上, which is the white suit made of hemp. So that's the white suit. And the 脚带, which is the black beard made of hemp. So this is a very, very key indicator how we interpret this poem. So the poet was wearing a suit of funeral. So when we're adding up all these factors, the early springtime, the people are in the wild, with a lot of the lovely girls around, and the poet was wearing all white with black beard, which means he's wearing the suit of funerals. So what it is? It's the Qingming festival. So from this poem, we can recall the Qingming festival up to at least some 2,700 years before. It's a very, very ancient tradition, festival, right? And with the background we have already, let's review the first paragraph again and see what's special. So we have a lot of the poem about offering sacrifice to ancestors to pray in the family's temple. But this poem is totally different. It started with a very lovely scenario. It's the early spring, and the beautiful girls are all around, swiftly, lovely, in groups. But anyhow, I just care nothing about it. All my concerns was with my ancestors, and even I'm doing something entertainment. That's something I had to do. So I will talk a little bit about what type of entertainment the ancient Chinese would have in their ancestors' temples or at the tomb of their ancestors. The character Liao means had to do something a little bit, because in these circumstances the poet was very sad, and but by the code of conduct he had to follow all the steps and do all the things defined by the code of conduct. So the entertainment is one of them, and the entertainment also has a very, very strong contrast to the girls, the lovely girls around. So they are doing the entertainment for themselves. That's the real entertainment. But the poet was staying at their ancestors' temple or at the tomb of their ancestors' temples. He's doing the entertainment as well, but it's so different. So this poem, the contrast was so subtle and so sophisticated, and it makes the atmosphere, the feelings, so true and so outstanding. Okay, the second paragraph. 出其阴都，有女如图。When I step out of the gate of the cemetery, the girls are like the wild grass. It's so tender, so green, and everywhere. Quite like the first paragraph, right? In the first paragraph, the girls like the clouds. In the second paragraph, the girls like the tender junior grass all around. It's so lovely, so fresh, and everything's booming. So the atmosphere is still so positive and lovely. Okay, let's see the next sentence. 虽则如图，非我思举. So the girls, even though the girls are like the wild grass, the lovely grass everywhere, but they are not what I'm thinking. They are not my ancestors. 思举 here means the ancestors. Okay, the last sentence. 缟衣如驴，聊可于鱼. My white suit is like the grass of 驴, and I just had to have some entertainment with others. The grass of 驴 is the grass to make the red color. So here it refers to the color of red. So in this way, the 缟衣如驴 means my white suit like a red suit now. So what does it mean, my suit like a red suit now? It means the suit might have some of the blood. What blood? The blood of the sacrifice offered to their ancestors. Or maybe he had made some of the agreement with others by smear the blood. So that's all the possibilities, all kinds of possibilities. But blood is a very normal, very frequent things in the ancestors' temples when Chinese offer to their ancestors. So basically, it means he has been through some of the very serious things in the family's temples. So his mind was full of those things, maybe agreement, maybe the condolence to his ancestors. So the last sentence make sense. 聊可于鱼. So I had to have some of the entertainment with others, with all those girls described before. And apparently, he's still so sad. The entertainment is not his wish, is not what he wants right now. he just follow the code of conduct, and he just follow the other people's, because everybody is enjoying and have some entertainment. The character yu is a strong indicator of this poem. It's about their ancestors, and for the ancient funerals, there's two major parts. It's a long process for many weeks, but basically it's two things. It's about two things: to send their corpse to the tomb, or to send their corpse away peacefully, which means the dead was buried in the tomb, and after several days they should hold several events, which was so called as 事于礼. 事于礼 is about to fetch the spirits, the ghost of the dead person, back to their family, to their family temple. The family temple was co-located with the family, while the tomb was always in the wild. So the whole funeral is about they send the dead to the tomb and buried him in the tomb. At that time, they think sometimes their corpse is still with the spirit, so they need to fulfill the 事于礼, the entertainment, to calm down the spirit and welcome the spirit back to their family's temple. So this is all the character means in the ancient time. So in the ancient time, the character yu has something about entertainment, like we understood today, but it's more about the part of the funeral, more about to calm down the spirit. So here, the poet geniusly chose this character to express his feeling by this single character. He has some entertainment, which I mean in the general meaning. He has some entertainment after the ceremony to his ancestors, and he came to the wild and meet a lot of girls and had some of the entertainment with all others. But his feeling was not about the girls, not about the entertainment, but his feeling is about to calm down himself. And he also has shared some of the feeling of the funerals, because during the funerals, when they get out of the tomb garden and when they do some entertainment, which means they are fetch their ancestors' spirit back to their home. Indeed, he is on the way back to his home as well. So the genius of the poet is he used so few characters, anyhow he reflects so many things: his ancestors and the funerals held in the past, and he also paralleled something in the past, the funerals, or when he went to the garden of the tomb to send his dead relatives or even fathers to the tomb, and the events when he do some entertainment to fetch the spirits of his relative back to the family's temple, back to his home. So it's a two-way things, and he paralleled all this to today's events to sweep the tomb and then have some of the entertainment in the wild with so many beautiful, lovely girls. Still, he's so sad. There are two other similar poems in Zheng Wind, 东门之扇, so it's quite similar to this poem. And the other is, in the surface, not so much like this poem, but basically they're telling the same thing from different angle. The other is Zheng Wind. So the Zheng Wind is more focused on the second half of the day, the touring, the entertainment with girls. Although the East City Gate might mean something, which are very likely the ancient Chinese liked to bury their ancestors out of the East Gate. And in the Han Dynasty, there are some of the poems clearly quoted the word of East Gate, 东门, and it's about something about their past ancestors as well. So it's a very, very clear indicator about their ancestors. But after the Han Dynasty, the East Gate don't show these characters anymore. It doesn't relate it to the tomb garden anymore. Okay, that's for today. Bye bye.